Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Carter Hour. Today I'm going to just share a couple of Windows Server 2012 tips with you. Now some of these might be in relation to Windows Server 2012 R2. That's what we're running here today. I'm running this on a VMware. And so I know that one of my subscribers had a request to do an email server, and unfortunately, Windows Server 2012 does not come fully functional with like a internet mail server in regards to the 2012 version. I'm not sure when they stopped doing that. I know they had like a really basic email server, email in, email out. You could associate your local users, but it's been such a while since I did anything that simple. So, to my subscriber that requested that, hold on, and I'll hopefully have a video for you here in the next, hopefully this week sometime, maybe setting up like an aftermarket server, like something like, I believe it's like Hmail or Freemail server of some type, or Pegasus Mail. We'll come up with a plan with that, but I just wanted to show you guys some quick features that I've learned because I was never, and I'll tell you guys, I was never a big fan of Windows 8, and I have that on one computer. I've been running Windows 7 since it came out, and it's like Windows XP. I ran it and pretty much ran it into the ground, and I really liked the Windows 7. They left the start menu alone, but when they came with Windows 8, of course, the famous tiles. These really don't belong in a server environment. I just don't understand why. I mean, you could customize them to do whatever you really want with them, but there's all your server information, your administrative tool set, your PowerShells, and your other things that you can do with it. It's even got a Windows Server backup, which I'm not a big fan of. I like the old school NT backup, which was it ran simple and it was easy to extract data when you needed to do a recovery. A lot of things have changed since I started in this world. So I'm going to show you a few things on here so we don't make this video too long, but down here in the start menu, you know how you just click it and it brings you back to your tiles, and then you click it and it brings you back to your desktop. Well, if you actually right click this, the Windows icon down here, you actually get most of your your control panel items, like programs and features, power options, event viewer, all the important things that you're going to want to look at on a server. These are going to be the most important items that you're going to need access to when it comes around to administrating the system or just trying to learn it. These are going to be the most used options. And I don't know if there's any way to modify this menu, but I know when I started in using Windows Server 2012, I used this right click feature quite a bit. It gives you all, the pretty much necessary things that you need on a day-to-day basis to administrate a Windows 2012 server. Of course, you're going to need more, like, your administrative tool pack, but, for doing your basic things, this really does help. You can go into System immediately, which is quite nice. Sometimes you need to get information from over here, and that's a quick access way to get your information. But they did a lot of weird things. Programs and features used to be where you installed your feature sets for your server manager, and now they have the server manager. And one thing I never really liked about it was it starts up every time you log in, and I really dislike that. So I actually turned it off on my production servers. This is just a VM I loaded for you guys so I could show you a few things, and we're gonna install a mail client or a mail server on here pretty soon. But there is a way that you shut this off, and I just gotta go to it, Server Manager Properties. Yeah, so you're going to want to check. So what you do is you actually go up here to Manage. And you go Manage Server Properties. It says Do Not Start Server Manager automatically at login. So now this thing doesn't come up every time you're trying to log in, because some of the administrators out there and some of you guys that just have played around with Windows 2012 Server is that every time you log in, this thing starts up and it takes forever, instead of just letting your server log in, smooth out a bit, and then starting the Server Manager. It was such a pain in the butt, so I went and turned all mine off, and now I don't have a problem with this thing coming up, so I can get to something else if I need to do something else right away, instead of trying to get this thing out of my way before I can go and do other tasks. Some of you are familiar with the Server Manager, some of you are not. Server Manager has been around for quite some time, 2003, 2008, and now 2012, and I'm sure 2016. That's all you use now to administrate anything is probably Server Manager. I haven't looked at it yet, but I do like Server Manager. There's some likes and dislikes to it, but this is the way they set up the system, and don't mind any of these errors or anything. This is just a simple, clean install that I really haven't done anything with. But this is where you come in and do all your file and storage services, like your sharing and so on and so forth. But there's other tools you can use to do your shares as well. But yeah, you can come in here, and so basically, if you want to shut this thing, don't want it to start up on you on automatic login, click this Do Not Start the Server Manager automatically login, because it is a pain in the butt. What else did I discover? And I'm sure this is not the only video out there, but oh yeah, you can get your administrative tools here as well. So your component services, computer management. So this will open them up right in here in the Server Manager. I think that was Microsoft's plan, was to basically use this, get everybody kind of used to the Server Manager, and then all of a sudden you would start doing your administration right directly out of here. Basically, they group everything here, but I don't know. I haven't looked at Server 2016. I'm really 2012, I think, is going to be my last increment before I really go to an open source platform, because of the Microsoft and the Windows 10 and the spying and all that kind of stuff. So basically, these are all the same tools that have been around since the NT age. I mean, my first Windows server was Windows NT 4.0 server that I ran on a old IBM 9595 server. That was a 486 based SCSI system. If you key in 9595 server, you'll find a lot of videos on them out there, but they're kind of a neat server. Completely powerless, but it did its job for like 3 years, so it wasn't too bad. It didn't have a lot of storage, but back then I wasn't really storing a lot. Okay, what else do we want to check out here? You can refresh your dashboard. So down here, I keep trying to point to my screen. You guys can't see my finger on the screen here. I gotta find my mouse. Where did it go? Oh, there we go. Sorry. So basically, when you have a bunch of different services running, like your file, like if you're running it as a file server, this will tell you any events that's going on, performance, BPA results, and this will tell you right here in the Server Manager if there's any errors going on with that. Local server. You can also manage multiple servers from one server location with Server Manager. I'm not sure if you could do that with Server 2008, because I really didn't use a Server Manager that much in 2008. I just used it like I would an NT system, or Windows 2003, 2000, So I didn't really use a lot of these workaround tools. I call them workaround tools because it was just, they were trying to push us to do different types of administration on servers using different tools, and I was the type of person that I knew it one way, and I've been doing it that way for quite some time. So we have the server manager. There's nothing much really to see here. There's not too much to it. I just wanted to give you guys a couple of quick tech tips here. You can do your administrative tools here. It also brings it up here as well in your administrative tools section when you do your tabs, or you can access them here. What else? I think you can. Yeah, you can right click on. If you right click on any of these tabs, you can actually add it to your taskbar. So we'll pin that to the taskbar. Now you have your event viewer, so we can go in there and look at your event viewer. So it's similar, to Windows 7 when they started, actually probably even Windows Vista. I never had Vista, I never used it. But Windows 7 with the pinning to the taskbar for quick access to the programs. It operates similar to Windows 7 and similar to Windows 8. So, if you can get around on Windows 7 or 8, you're not going to have an issue here. But I really like this right-click feature that I can quickly access anything I need to access. Go to the control panel right here. And I generally don't sort of my categories. I go by small icons so that I see everything, because out of the box, the system will look this way. And people get confused because they can't find what they're trying to find, like programs and features or system, or and it really confuses people on where to go for certain administration tasks or aspects of the system. So I simply just put it on small icons as soon as I set up a server, or if I'm doing an image, I'll make sure that that's in the image so that all servers are set up this way. But now you get your full list of items. That's another thing, and that's also you're able to set that in Windows 7 and Windows 8. Not sure about 10. I haven't really played around with 10 because I just don't really want to. I'm not a big 10 fan. I think it's a terrible Windows operating system, and with them sneaking in the back doors and things, it doesn't make me too happy. But anyways, moving on. So yeah, that's another little tip right there. I always put it in small icons. You can put it in larger icons too, but it's just preference in a sense. You also have your command prompt at min, so you don't have to go hunt that down. That starts right up with administrator privileges, and you also have your command prompt regular, which I think it starts up as administrator anyways because I'm logged in as administrator. Search, file explorer, task manager, so you can do a lot of different things. And right click is the same. Toolbars, you can add a few toolbars. Address toolbar. Funny story behind that was that didn't exist until like IE 4.0, I believe it was. Just had to get a drink, guys. Sorry about that. That address bar actually was derived from Internet Explorer. I think it was 4.0, and that was a cool thing to have back in the day. I had it on my Windows, either 95 or Millennium. I can't remember. I think it was 95. So I could go to any internet address down here in my toolbar without having to open the browser. So I thought that was quite cool. But you have all kinds of different things in here you can do. And what we'll do is I'll set up maybe I'll even go as far as setting up a fictitious domain with this server and making it a domain controller, DNS, and Active Directory and things like that. Those are things I can show you guys how to do too. But right now, I just kind of wanted to show you the quick tips, and I don't know how long this is. 15 minutes and 14 seconds. Excuse me. So I'll edit it down. But hold on, subscribers. I will try to get an email server that I think would be, the easiest to install and also the most functional, so that if you guys are out there and you're running a Windows 2012 server, 2008, or that you guys can install this without having to pay big money for Exchange, because Exchange is not cheap. So anyways, for another edition of the Carter Hour, I hope the sound is coming through nice and clear, and hope to do some more of these capture videos pretty soon. But this is kind of like my first capture video I've done in quite some time. So anyways, hope everyone is doing well, and thank you for joining me for another edition, an episode of the Carter Hour. Take care.